Women Speaking Up is what I'm calling our 12-month visibility container. It's a space for you to become a member of Women Speaking Up, and then you've got 12 months to really explore, where are my visibility blocks? What is my message? Am I trying to fit into a mold that doesn't work for me? Is there actually some space I hadn't considered because I hadn't wanted to look at something that felt scary? I hadn't wanted to look at the possibility I'm going to have to claim a new place that hasn't been claimed before. And you work through the blocks to doing that. You work out, what do I need to do to show up consistently? Because consistency, the problem with consistency is twofold. One is you've made your visibility efforts too complicated. So you're like, I just can't keep up with my own strategy, which is just way too hard and way too complicated. Or you don't know what your message is. You're not anchored really deeply into your message. So you keep kind of changing your message here and there, trying to work out who am I, what am I? And so the who am I, what am I is the work that we do, the personal development work. We do work around really understanding who you are and what you're here to offer the world. It'll help you to be consistent. It'll help you to stop spinning your wheels, not knowing if you're making any progress. One of the things that we focus on is the theme of impact and influence. And in that section, what we do, the section of the curriculum, we're looking at, are my efforts actually impactful? Because if they're not, what am I doing? And do I even know how to measure that in the first place? And this is so vitally important, both if you care about your time, if you care about the results that you would like to see for your clients or your students or your customers. And then at the later stages, like the more advanced stages of visibility, it's if you care, if you're building a movement and you care about the combined impact that you're having in the world. So you and all of the people in your community, what are we doing together? How are we measuring impact? So what that does is, by focusing on impact along the way, you stop wasting time. You waste far less time because you're only doing the things that move the needle toward whatever your impact it might be. And we've got people within Women Speaking Up who are working toward eradicating poverty. We've got women who are working to transform the birthing industry. We've got women who are wanting to change the way women relate to wealth. We've got women who are we've got some women who are wanting to change their family environment. So they're like, I want to break a cycle in my own family. That's what I'm focused on now, because I know that once I break that cycle, then I can go out to the world and change it there. We've got women who are looking at transforming the fitness industry, the Pilates industry, the yoga community. I mean, we've got lots of well-being professionals within our community. So the other thing it does is that once you're consistent, and this is such a relief to so many people, is then your sales process becomes so much easier. And that is just wildly important if you actually want to build a sustainable business, if you want to not feel like you have to hustle all the time, if you want to be able to make good money without feeling like the sleazy car salesman. The consistency piece around visibility is the key to making that easy. Once you really get that, everything changes in your business, because you're not starting from scratch every time you think about selling a product or a service, or launching a product or a service. So that's what you get from being with us in the visibility container for 12 months. You get loads and loads of live classes with me. We do those in Zoom. We do them either, normally we do them face to face. If you can't be on camera, you can just be on audio. And it's very interactive, lots of questions, lots of people saying, this is what I want to talk about, this is what I want to talk about, and so I always make sure we always do block clearing work in those classes. I always make sure everybody's topics that they're currently facing are picked up in the block clearing work, and that they're covered off on, so that every time you attend one of those, it's like doing a whole personal development healing session. We also balance those with strategy sessions. But what we do in those strategy sessions, which I think makes those different, is that we're strategizing around, I could do this, and we're talking about different strategies within the business. And then we're looking at what would stop you from implementing what we've just talked about. And then we do the block clearing there and then, because talking about even developing a beautiful strategy is only half the job. The implementation is the most important part, and the implementation is an inside job. It's about, you have to become the kind of person who has the right kind of habits, who's free of any internal blocks that says, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to put it aside now, that's job done. You need to become the type of person who follows through. And these things, I'm not talking about you becoming a different kind of person. I'm talking about you becoming the highest and best version of you, building your strategy around what you know your strengths are, and then being able to implement from there. So there are a number of key components around making implementation work well. We look at them all, from what are the habits I need to build, to what are the blocks I need to clear, to have I got a strategy that's actually aligned to who I am and how I want to show up in the world. And that's one of the programs that we have inside the Women Speaking Up, which is the learning about the Enneagram and how that needs to inform the kind of visibility strategy you put together. Because if you run your own business and you're just a one person operation, or even if you've got just a very small team, if your strategy is not aligned to the kind of natural way you show up, you will never, ever, ever want to be visible. You'll constantly be fighting yourself. Okay, so we have all of these digital programs that complement the live experiences. And then we have in addition to the implementation support I've already spoken about, we have peer-to-peer circle meetings for you then to get together in smaller groups and just talk amongst 3 or 4 of you about how you're going with your implementation. So we facilitate that for you. We also have office hours with me every second week, and quite often they become everybody doesn't turn up for office hours every week. Obviously, you just turn up when you have a question. And then we can be having 3 or 4 different conversations about very specific things that are relating to your experience at that time. So those office hours are very personalized to your experience. And then finally, we have the library. And the Visibility Library, it contains 25, could even be more now, but let's say roughly 25 personal development resources. And these are the kinds of things that what I end up doing is people will come and they'll say to me, I'm about to do this kind of thing and I'm just feeling like this. So I'm about to prep for a speech and I'm feeling nervous and not really clear about my message. And so I'll say, there's this tool within the personal development library. Go and use that one first of all to just clarify your message. Then just before you do the speech, there's this other tool you can use in the personal development library. Make sure that you use that one as well just before you go to do the speech. And so that's the way that it runs. A woman last week was saying, I'm really getting annoyed. I'm really becoming very aware of how patriarchal conditioning is playing out in my home life, and I'm getting really angry about that. And so I gave her some mentoring around that on the spot, and then I said, here, go and do this visibility block class, and then utilize this tool, and these will help you to break down some of that in yourself, and then to get really articulate and clear about what you want in your home life and speaking up about that. And so that's how the personal development library supports your experience inside Women Speaking Up. The pricing for Women Speaking Up is if you pay month to month, it's $175 a month. If you pay in full, it's $1,899. And that's for a year of personal development, transformational experience, plus a year of business development with a particular focus on building the visibility of your brand, or of you if you're building a personal brand. Doesn't matter if you're building a personal brand or a business brand. We cover all of that. That's fine. So a year of building your business and a year of building you. And then there's a VIP track if you want to add one-to-one sessions with me. And those one-to-one sessions can either be block clearing sessions, like straight up healing sessions, if you know there's like deep wounding that you need to heal in order to share your story, for example, or really get aligned to what you want your business to be about. Then you can do healing work with me. I have over a decade of both experience and professional training in facilitating healing, deep transformational healing work at all levels of the being: emotional, energetic, karmic, all the layers. And then, but you might also prefer to use it as strategy sessions, those 4 sessions, or you might want to use it for both. So we can also strategize, look at your visibility plan, what's working, what's not, what needs to be taken out, because normally something needs to be taken out. There's just too much complexity in it. What's the new model you might want to use? And then again, for those sessions, I draw on over a decade's worth of work as an online entrepreneur. And then before that, I can bring in all sorts of skills from my work as a strategist in public policy, thinking about creating population level change, if that's the kind of thing you do. We have women within Women Speaking Up at the moment who run an NGO, for example, and they're building their NGO. They're thinking about population level change, how to do that. And so I can bring any of that experience in as well to those one-to-one sessions for the VIPs. And VIP costing is $3,899 or $345 a month for 12 months.